There is so much stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. But for a beginner, today I'm just going to talk about very basic of how to wait for a perfect shot and where to aim. But first, let's talk about how I like to sight in my rifle at 100 yards. Now I like to talk about how I like to sight in my rifles. Now this is for 308. The blue line is for 308. At 100 yards, I like to sight in about 1.5 to 2 inch high. That means I'm going to be right on it at 25 yards and also right on it at 200 yards. So I could actually put my crosshair where I want it from 25 yards to 250 yards, and I wouldn't have any problem hitting the target. Now, with my long range rifle like 7 mag, with my Christensen Mesa and Savage, I actually sight in right on it at 100. That way, if I'm measuring distance, let's say 500 to 600 yards, then I know exactly where to put my crosshair and pull the trigger. Will you look at that? That's the best I've done with Federal non-typical. So you're shooting it to the right. So I did one click to the left, and then this is what I got. I had 3 shots all touching the bullseye. Okay, now let's talk about your bullet length and your barrel twist. I'm gonna try to simplify it for the beginners. Now, if you look at 450 Bushmaster, it's got a short stubby bullet, and if you look at the 7 mag, it's got the long bullet. Now, this 450 Bushmaster has a twist rate of 1 in 24, meaning this bullet's gonna come to a full circle while it's traveling 24 inches of the barrel. While this Mesa, it will come to full circle in only 9 inches. So this is a fast twisting. Now for a longer range shooting, you wanna shoot a longer bullet, which requires faster spinning, so you will stabilize the bullet, just like throwing a football. Meanwhile, on a shorter distance, you wanna have a slower twisting rate, which is more accurate and will be able to stabilize the bullet better in a shorter distance. So know your twist rate, and then try different ammunitions with a different length and see which one works for you. If you ask any hunter where's the best shot placement on a deer hunt, they will always tell you it's right behind the shoulder and it's right there. And what happens is that you're so focused on the spot and you're not really seeing the whole deer, what kind of position they're standing. And if you're only, especially when you're looking to the scope, and if you're just looking at that one spot and pull the trigger, it might not be a hard shot, it might be a gut shot. So you have to see the whole deer and the position is standing before you pull the trigger. Now this is what you're gonna see when you're hunting from the ground. And you'll be aiming right behind the shoulder of the side that you see. And that's a perfect shot, and this is a big vital area right here. But if you're shooting from a tree, this is kind of what you see, especially if the deer is only 20, 30 yards away from you. So if you're aiming behind the shoulder, you're aiming way too low, and the vital just got a lot smaller. And if your rifle is sighted at 100 yards, it's gonna shoot about 2 inch, maybe 1.5 to 2.5 inch low at 25 yards, depending on the caliber. And that means you're gonna be aiming here. And there's a good chance you might actually just nick the deer or not give a fatal shot, or they're gonna get away and die somewhere else. So when you're shooting from a tree stand and if they're up close, you wanna aim right in the middle. Don't aim for the, behind the shoulder, aim right in the middle. If you hit a little high, you're gonna hit the spinal. If you hit it, if you're gonna hit a little low, you're gonna hit the heart. So right here is a very safe area. Matt. And also when you're shooting a deer coming at you at an angle, and if you're still thinking I'm gonna aim for the side that you see behind the shoulder, right here, you're not hitting anything. You're gonna hit the gut shot and maybe part of the liver. So that's not where you wanna aim, because if you look at it, it's going through right here. So you always wanna aim for the further leg behind the shoulder, which is right here. It feels kind of funny because, it feels like you're, aiming at the root of the neck, but actually the heart is right here now. And you have both lungs, and then if you look at it, you could see the bullet is going through this way. So you gotta catch one lung for sure, and maybe even a heart. So that's gonna be a really good shot. If you have your face covered and use the scent killer properly, a lot of times you're gonna see a deer looking at you, but they haven't busted you yet. And if they feel comfortable, they're gonna start moving again. So don't rush a shot like this, just wait. And eventually, it's gonna give you the broadside shot. It's moving. Right there is a better shot, but you have the openings in the right, so you could wait longer. And soon enough, it's gonna give you the broadside shot. Right there's your shot. And same thing again, if they're walking away from you. And if you're shooting at an angle like this, if you're tempted to shoot a deer behind the side that you see behind the shoulder, that's not where the heart is anymore. The heart is actually right here now. So you don't want to shoot the side that you see. You want to aim for the shoulder of opposite, the farther away leg. So if you aim right here, you're gonna catch maybe a heart and lung for sure. Because if you aim right here, it's going through right there. But if you aim for here, it's going through all the vitals here, so you can't miss it. Man. Oh my God, she dropped on the track. When you see a nice deer like this walking away, it's really hard not to shoot it in a rush, but you really should wait, and then it will give you a broadside shot right there. There's your shot. Now, if you wait too long, you see that buck stumping, that means he saw you and he's getting ready to run, so don't wait too long. If you're hunting in a thick woods like I did in Virginia, a lot of times you're gonna see a deer moving through the brush. I mean, times like this, you wanna stop it and just pull the trigger, but you actually wanna wait and look at the path ahead and look for a clearance. And I see my clearance, and at this point, I made a little noise, and the deer heard me. So deer is about to bust me out, but then I just waited. Right there, he's running a little bit, but right at the clearance, he stops. Thank God I waited. There she is. Good thing I waited. It was a perfect hot shot. You probably see me shoot a deer on the shoulder blade in the evening, where this is a picture of an elk, but I couldn't find the picture of a deer with a drag, a 3D drag. But anyway, so the shoulder blades are right here, and you could see it in my arrow. And if by placing a shot right here, you might not be aiming for the heart, but you're aiming for the shoulder blade. So you're hitting both lungs and busting out both shoulder blades, meaning they have no front legs to run on. So they go down really quickly and they expire quite fast as well. Matt. She dropped on the track. Oh, she dropped on the track. Next, we're going to talk about the hunting outfit and how to dress for the hunt, and also how to protect yourself from the most dangerous predator out there. Yep, it's a trick. And lastly, like always, thank God for what you have. Enjoy your life with what you got, but mostly remember, practice makes perfect. See you.